welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly if you're new, and today I'm going to talk about POKEFEST. This is my first time vending at POKEFEST. POKECon, whatever they wanted to call it. It was POKECon Fest, and that's why I'm getting, my brain is getting mixed up. It was my first time doing it. I think it went really well. I didn't get a lot of footage of the event because once all the vendors got set up and people started rolling in, so there was a line forming at like 9:30. The event started at 10 and went until 5. So from like 9:45 to I'd say probably about 1. It was like a constant like flow of people. I will put in how my setup looked after I was all done, and you can kind of see how everything was in the background, but it was very loud. It was very loud. So these people also do Anime Fest in the same place. They're also doing Anime Fest in the same place. So I did well, so I signed up for Anime Fest. I did get a bigger space. So I'm gonna try and film, and if it's loud, I'll just put music, I'll just voice over it or put music over it. I need to remember to film stuff. Because that's why you're here. You want to see things, right? But I did put my setup, how it looked at the beginning. Now I am a chronic over planner, so I always make way too much. Not knowing how an event's gonna go, I always make way too much. Also probably give myself like really high hopes. We'll say hopes instead of expectations. Because really I make about anywhere between like 1,000 and 1,500 at the winery that I do, and that's one day. So I was like, let's get close to that. And I got the bigger table for Anime Fest because I really feel like if I would have been spread out, I would have made more money. Because I was next to a card vendor. They were very nice, and I have nothing against them. However, they created a line, and their line blocked some of my table. So I'm gonna hope that if I have more space, then there'll be people that can look at my stuff more. I don't know. Sometimes in this business, you just gotta try different things. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try something else. And so since I've been doing the winery, and the winery I have a 10 by 20 space, so I have a pretty big space. I make more and more and more money every time I go. So I feel like I do okay. And I just feel like we've been talking about when I do Comicons and stuff like that, I saw other vendors, the way they had their bigger booths, and I was like, it's totally what I need. I need a bigger space. I don't have enough space to put all of my things, and it gets overwhelming to look. Also, we take my daughter's stickers, and she's trying to break into her own business, and she's got stickers and keychains and prints, and she's designing like sticker books, and we're very proud, but I can only give her so much of my space. But if we had a bigger booth, I saw these, we met these lovely people at GalaxyCon, and they had a split So all their stickers and stuff were on one side, and all their plushies were on the other. So like I would still get a full table, one table, but it would be like a full table, and then there's space in between to interact with people. And I love that so much. That's not an option at this one, and we're here to talk about POKEFEST, so I will stop my rambling. So I make a list as I sell things, so that when it comes time to remake things, I know what I sold. And I even go as far as sometimes I put like I sold a Junimo, and I put green. So like I'll put what color it is, just because I don't want to end up with 6 blue axolotls because I forgot what color I sold. So the event started off really well. Before everybody was even set up, I think like 9 o'clock, one of the vendors came by, was looking at my booth, and they just kept bringing their daughter over, and they said whatever she wants is fantastic. I think they were leaning toward the one thing, and so they steered her because she was like 2 or 3. So, but it was the cutest thing. And so they bought my big Gengar, and Gengar is a labor of love because he's big. So he definitely needs to be remade for my next Nashville Comicon. And then I should have really made a list so I didn't have to go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my little baby Pokemons. I did have 2 of each, and I had like, I think 10. So not quite as many as I wanted, but that's okay. And I won't list all the things that my daughter sold, but she made 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 sales. And I mean, some of that, there were a lot of times where somebody bought like a $2 sticker, and that's all they bought. I had this one girl, she was dressed up like one of the evolutions, and she said, "How much is their stickers?" And I said, $2. And she said, "I have $2. I was like, okay. I expected it to be very kid heavy, and it was. So plushie wise, because we're here for plushies and stickers. I love my daughter and her stickers, but she will get her own, and she will talk about her stickers, her own page, her own channel. So after the big Gengar, I sold Cinnamon Roll and Mimikyu. I don't know why. Mimikyu is one I could have probably 4 of. Mimikyu, Umbreon, I could have 4 of, and I would sell. Although I didn't sell any of the big ones, Umbreons. And then I sold Baby Squirtle, Baby Bulbasaur, sticker, and then Perry the Platypus. I had a bunch prepared. I think it was the only one I sold. Like I said, it was really busy until like 1 o'clock. And then it was like everybody just wanted cards, which is totally fine. That's what they're there for. So it got slower. I made a Drifloon at the very end, at the last minute. If you're familiar with the Pokopia game, he carries Ditto around. That my green Junimo, and then I sold an axolotl. I think it was like bright green, so everybody was into the green stuff, which is weird. I sold I sold a Swiss Bride. I haven't sold a Swiss Bride in a while. Moslax always sells. For my Nashville one, I want to have 2. Deadpool also sells. And if you watch my prep video, you can see my Deadpool and my Bakugo. And both of those sold. So Anime Fest, I need lots of Bakugos and lots of things like that. Then I sold a drift. I'm trying to think. I think it was my purple one. It was the mystical and the mystical yarn, so it was all variegated and it was beautiful. And I sold a Pokeball. I made a bunch of Pokeballs. I had a lot of people like pick them up and like, oh look, it's found a Pokeball. Look, catch them all. And I didn't sell very many of them. That's why I kind of stopped making them, to be honest. I sold a baby Eevee. I sold a Charmander ball to one of the vendors. She was a very nice lady. She made like desserts. And so she likes to buy from the vendors around her. She had a lot of 3D printed like Pokeballs. And so she bought mine and for like to decorate her table. And I thought that was so cool. I sold Magikarp and Baby Appa to the girls next to me. They were staring at them all day long, and at the very end, they were like, no, we're gonna have to take those from you. Okay. And then, if you look, I was trying to add everything up, and then I sold a Ninja Turtle, and then my daughter sold stickers. In total, I made $853. Which is a decent amount. Table fee was $125. So I'm hoping an Anime Fest, when we spread out a little bit, I will bust over that $1,000. So that's what I'm shooting for. Trying to think. We were one of the first people. I'll give you kind of a rundown of the event. We were one of the first vendors to get there. And I mean, they said show up by 6:30. We were there. There were a couple of vendors already there. But mostly like the big the ones that have like the big plushies and the big 3D printed people. I'm pretty sure the ones that had the 3D printed were the ones running it. I'm pretty sure. So they were already there and set up and ready to go. And so my husband makes my setup very streamlined. There were several times the girl next to me, she was like, do you have this? Do you have this? I'm so unprepared. And I'm like, no problem. And at the end, she was like, hey, you're prepared. Do you have a Sharpie? Of course I have a Sharpie. It was just funny though. She was like, you're prepared. And I don't know. After that, I kind of felt like, am I over-prepared? That's not a thing. I'd rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. I've been under-prepared for other things like, oh no, I wish I had this. And like, so after you've been doing it for a little bit, like, you have things just in case. Like, oh, I've made that mistake before. We're gonna have this in the cart. This has happened before. I have all sorts of Band-Aids and stuff like that just because I've had somebody fall in front of my booth and scrape their whole leg, and nobody has any Band-Aids. And so I don't make that mistake anymore. There's Band-Aids. We have Band-Aids. Now, Band-Aids are important. I think I had like little Band-Aids, like, oh no, I got a paper cut. But I wasn't prepared for like her whole leg to be all scraped up, and I'm like, dude. So now I have this weird, there's gloves, there's gauze, there's tape, I don't mess around with my over preparedness. So yeah, so rambling again. My husband makes my process very quick to go up and very quick to go down. So we're there by 6:30, all checked in, loaded in, and we're up. I'm up and fully put up by like 7:30. And the event does not start until 10. So would I want to get there that early knowing that I'll be set up like that again? I don't know. However, it gave me the opportunity to like move around and lost my train of thought. Be able to put my tablecloth and stuff without interfering with anybody else. So we'll see how that goes for Anime Fest. This was POKECON. I think I did pretty good. Let me know what you think. Put in the comments if you would like to see footage of all the craziness, even if there's no sound because it's too loud. Maybe I can show you how loud it was. Maybe that's the thing. Also, side note, there's no footage because I got a little frazzled like the day before, and I didn't take my GoPro. So we'll just be completely honest. It wasn't only because it was loud, it was because I've got my camera. Okay, so I've done enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye!